So it turns out a lot of us may have been wrong about Indiana Jones. I genuinely did write this game off, and believed it was not going to be good, but it turns out we were pretty much wrong. The game turned out to be either okay or pretty good in your standards, which is honestly surprising, as I think most of us read it off because it was made for the modern audience, as I'm sure we all remember that clip. That is where we got this modern audience from. And it seems like it really wasn't just made for a modern audience, it was made for everyone to enjoy Indiana Jones games, which is genuinely surprising. I didn't think we were going to get another one that was actually comparable to LEGO Indiana Jones. Now, am I interested in this game? Not really, I don't really care for it. Even with hearing all the positive stuff about it, it doesn't necessarily interest me. But if you want it, it's pretty much available on all platforms, whether or not sooner or later, a little bit later on PS5, and it's already available on PC and Xbox, so if you want it, you get it, you know what I mean? It's just not available on Nintendo Switch, as expected. But anyway, the fanboys we're going to be covering are mainly PlayStation fanboys, as marketed through the title and thumbnail of this video. But we are covering a former Xbox fanboy turned anti-woke grifter. Does anyone remember Andy Pants? I mean, I'm sure we'll remember him. He got into a little bit of a spat with the Act Man, and used to have an Xbox fanboy channel, where he would make similar content like this. So I thought we would cover him in this video, as a certain particular individual in my community has continued to ask me for over a year to cover him. Insert him right here, there you go, you get your credit for making this video finally happen. I was thinking of you when making this Andy Pants segment. Well, and before, because I knew you wanted to see a video, and you're the only one that actually suggests videos. Anyway, we're gonna start with the PlayStation fanboy salt and leave the Andy Pants stuff to near the end of the video. So anyway, let's get started.
So, I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is just a game that when I initially saw it, the first trailers, the gameplay reveals and stuff, I did not think this game looked very special. It didn't look great, in my opinion. But now I've played it. I played it with an open mind. The game is fantastic.
Is it just me, or does it seem like Dreamcast Guy is really going out of his way by copying other people and what they've said in their videos? Not like word for word, but in a similar sentiment to what they're saying. Because I've heard a lot of people say, hey, I wasn't expecting this game to be good, but oh look, here it is. It's actually a pretty good game from what we've played so far. But then again, Dreamcast Guy is kind of known for parroting the popular opinion on every subject just to make sure that he can get the best views possible, which honestly, I don't blame him. I just kind of wish he was a bit more genuine with a lot more of his takes. But I think he is genuinely correct here. I don't think many of us were expecting a genuinely good game, or a good game at all from all the stuff going around this, and surprisingly, it comes out to be a pretty good game from everything that I've heard. If I am to purchase it, maybe I'll save the game for a rainy day a couple months, or maybe a year or two down the line, who really knows. But it's a very expensive game over here in Australia, so I don't think I'll be purchasing it at full price.
It is so good, I'm actually completely blown away. This is definitely in my picks of the year. This is in one of my favorite things I've played in all of 2024, and I want to explain why. I want to really discuss what Indiana Jones and the Great Circle does so exceptionally well, why I feel like this is the first real Xbox Series X game this entire generation that
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I would have to be very 50 and somewhat agree with Dreamcast Guy here, because he's kind of on the mark saying that Xbox hasn't really released a fully feature-complete game that's genuinely worth your time, that isn't buggy and broken, straight from the get-go. And this, not being any of that, is a pretty good sign for what this studio was able to do. Now, I'm sure some of you will disagree with me and say, hey look, this and that game came out and it wasn't really broken, but for the most part, a lot of Microsoft's games were pretty broken on launch, or lacked a lot of features from previous games. And hopefully, this is a turning point for Microsoft to actually release feature-complete games with actual good substance behind them.
I'm gonna say, overall, this game is good. It is really, really good. I think it's coming out on the PlayStation 5 coming up in spring, and I'm going to double dip. I bought this on Xbox with my own money. I'm going to buy it on PlayStation 5 with my own money, and I'm probably going to platinum it.
I don't think many of us actually believe that statement that he's going out there and using his own money. With what he did recently with his girlfriend, making her pay $500 for a PS5, I think, for him to get a PS5 Pro, which is kind of funny. Who knows, maybe he did use his own money. but I'm having a sneaking suspicion he really didn't and just got his girlfriend to pay some of the money for it. Would be very cash money if Dreamcast guy did that. That would mean more interesting and amusing content to make. And that's pretty much it for Dreamcast guy. We don't really have much else that we need to cover for him. I thought I would just include this part. But in the case of other fanboys like Unleashed as an example, he is constantly, as well as the Red Dragon and maybe one other, I didn't really check the other one, but in the case of those two, they are posting a lot of random stuff that is mainly pertaining to Indiana Jones, either coming to PlayStation, being beaten up by Metacritic score, or somehow just it being beaten up by Astrobot, which honestly in this case, I would prefer a game like Astrobot. But for people that really hate Microsoft, that really dislike what they do or how they run their businesses, they really seem to enjoy talking about Microsoft products and giving more awareness to them, regardless if it's hate or both, compliments towards the game. Truly, fanboys make no sense. And I'm sure a lot of these people that are trying to talk about the game in whatever light possible, whether or not it's positive or negative, as fanboys, they will probably be playing it within a couple of months when it releases on PlayStation, as knowing them, they would like to brag that they have the superior version of a game on their platform, because for some reason they believe the PS5 Pro is superior. It's almost like they forgot about the PC platform and what we can do on PC, but then again, I guess they can do whatever they want. Continue to be as silly as they desire. But I'm sure within time when it releases on that PlayStation, they will be praising the game, saying that it's very good on PlayStation and the game in general is very good or whatever. I don't know what they're gonna say, but they're probably gonna praise it when it's on the PlayStation. And most of the stuff in the comments that they've had will just be null and void now, because, you know, say stupid shit that you don't remember within a month's time. Either way, let's move on to Andy Pants.
What's up, boys? So there is a 5-second moment from the gameplay reveal of Indiana Jones from about 10 months ago, and this tells us exactly what the game is. Let's watch it.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience.
I really do think that this killed a lot of hype for people, and now they're going to refuse to pick up the game, and I somewhat agree with Andy here that this really did kill a lot of people's hype and expectations for the game. Saying it's made for a modern audience really turns people off. Like really, like you're not saying it's made for people that enjoy games, gamers, or whatever else. It's the modern audience. Like, developers need to realize that saying this stuff will just kill your game. It's not going to make it far more enjoyable for certain people. It's not going to make it far more reasonable for people to pick it up. It just kills all momentum. Like, look at Avowed as an example. That developer said he's putting stuff in there despite people like Grums and Elon Musk. I personally don't care about Elon Musk. I think he's a bit of an idiot, but oh well, it's kind of 50-50. But Grums, on the other hand, fuck that guy. The guy can't even make a game to save his life. The guy's an absolute useless grifter. He sucks. I may be part of that anti-woke crowd, but I wouldn't want to put him in that crowd because he makes us all look bad. Fuck him, in particular.
Woman.
You didn't trust me.
I didn't know you. At least I let you tag along.
Oh, yes. Give them a flower and they'll follow you anywhere.
Knock it off. You're not mad.
No?
No. You like the way I do things.
It's lucky I don't do things the same way. You'd still be standing at the Venice Pier.
What do you think is going on here? Since I met you, I've nearly been incinerated, drowned, shot at, and chopped it.
Bro, this would never be in a modern movie. This is how you have to treat women sometimes. Now, I'm never advocating violence against a woman, of course. I have a lovely wife who I love. I have a daughter who I love. But
So you're telling me you would do it to them, regardless if you love them, because you need to put them in their place or what? Kind of interesting you would put that in the video. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny when we were streaming and I was making jokes. And I won't lie, what you were saying was pretty funny, a bit amusing to say in a video. I'm surprised no one has really called you out. I mean, they aren't the worst things. I'm sure, you know, Synthetic Man and many of these other absolute brain-rotted individuals would say a lot more worse and interesting things. Or, you know, I could just go talk to my friend group and we'll say it's the most horrific shit known to man. Like, bro, sometimes you need to play For Honor with your wife, you know what I mean? You're like, bro, you gotta fucking anti-gank, you gotta gank, you gotta stop her from feeding revenge, and you gotta pull that easy cap off, bro. Like, what is she gonna do? Pop Revenge, she wouldn't even know how to play the game. I mean, you wouldn't really catch me saying this in a video, especially if you're trying to, you know, leave a good message, or at least leave a message that people can agree with, saying that you're gonna try and, at least, well, you're not saying that you're gonna abuse her or anything, but it's like, I wouldn't necessarily would want to say that or try to word it that way. Like, yeah, there are certain times you need to tell people you need to put them in their place and remind them, you know, what reality is, but I don't think the way that you're wording it was necessarily correct, and that's why you don't just put a video together and you actually think about what you're going to say before making the video, for the most part. It's not that hard. You can take multiple takes in a video. I will never understand how certain content creators just refuse to do that.
Sometimes when a woman is being a brat like this woman is, you have to tell her what's up. You have to remind her who daddy is. And that is exactly what Indiana Jones is doing right here.
Bro really hit us with that daddy gets what daddy wants. Ugh. I can't believe a fucking man twice my age is telling me he's calling himself daddy. Ugh. You know, at least it's funny when someone like Alex does it, right? Because, you know, his entire personality trait is just being gay with extra steps, you know? At least he makes it funny, but you, on the other hand, ugh.
And that is why he's too alpha. He's too alpha for modern gaming audiences, and they can't handle this Indiana Jones on screen. So they're going to create some kind of pussy bitch Indiana.
Now that I've actually sat down and actually looked at some of the gameplay of the game, I wouldn't necessarily believe that's true, but now I know that I'm probably not going to pick up the game because it genuinely looks like a fucking movie game, like something Sony would make, so I guess I won't be bothering to play the game for some time at least. But from some of the cutscenes and some of the interactions, you still got the Indiana Jones that you knew from the movies in some regards, maybe not with some of the interesting lines that they may say in those older movies, but who really knows? I've not watched the movies in a very long time, so I can't tell you how accurate they are, but from what other people have said, he's, for the most part, pretty accurate. I also would like it if you keep in mind that little movie clip that he used, as it will come up again later when talking about another point that I somewhat disagreed with him on.
Jones, in their gay game that they're working on. But watch this.
To fish bait. We're caught in the middle of something sinister here. My guess is Dad found out more than he was looking for, and until I'm sure, I'm going to continue to do things the way I think they should be done.
How dare you kiss me?
Leave me alone. I don't like fast.
I wonder if this video is going to get copyrighted or taken down or be demonetized because we're showing these movie clips or me reacting to them. Well, Andy Pan's reacting to them for the most part, but I just want to bring this up as I find it kind of strange and annoying that people continue to do this. I just really want to go on this little side tangent because I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing this shit, bro. Like, what the fuck is an alpha male? Like, you know that stuff doesn't exist, right? Humans didn't go out there and, like, hunt a mammoth all by themselves. They did it as a group. We're a social species. You may have had the one big man that helps you get the strategy together, but it was all a group coordinated effort on trying to fuck that mammoth in the ass with a bunch of spears. Until that freaky little terror bird showed up and, you know, gave you a big prank of a lifetime. The term alpha male has never really been used until modern times, or in the case of maybe looking back at people that achieved very great things in their life. I know, bit of a side tangent, but I just wanted to mention that. Not even animals can use the term alpha male. They have a pack leader if they're a social species. I genuinely cry whenever I hear people use the term alpha male, and I just wanted to go on that little tangent. It makes me cringe. Anyway, back onto the video of making fun of Andy Pants, because, you know, I was kind of doing it with this segment, but anyway, fuck you in particular for using the term alpha male.
Right here.
It ain't a walk in the park.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean?
Ooh, whoa. The woman is teaching Indiana Jones a few things because she's the real alpha. She's the real Chad.
This is the reason why I told you to hold on to that previous clip, because in my eyes, I don't see necessarily a difference between both of them. Both women did say that they're going to do something better than Indy in their clips, right? So I don't really see much of an issue. What is it, because she's not attractive and it isn't leading straight to a sex scene or whatever? Like, I'm kind of confused personally. Like, I don't see what the issue is here. She's not going out of her way saying, I'm non-binary, I'm gonna do everything better than you. She's just stating, oh look, I might be able to do better than you. You know, challenging up for a good one-on-one fight, you know what I mean? People do that shit all the time. It's almost like you've never actually, you know, socialized with anyone. And I wish he would just stop making content and just went back to, you know, being the absolute biggest Xbox fanboy and, you know, just didn't destroy the movement of anti-woke by being an absolute fucking mouth breather and trying to call out developers and do it completely wrong, which destroys our movement and argument. I mean, I'm not going to treat it like it's a fucking movement, it's just people disagree with something in video games and they don't like that shit being in video games. It's not that, you know, big of a deal, now that companies are kind of throwing that stuff out now. The world is slowly healing. Soon we will go back to having big black men like Coltrane and Sergeant Johnson from Halo and all these other peak characters. You know, we really do need to get a dedicated game about Johnson, bro. He's a fucking Spartan one. How did we not get that? Anyway, this is the end of the video. I don't want to do no more. I spent more time talking about Andy Pants and actual PlayStation fanboys. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. I'll see you sometime next week when I release my next video. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great day.